Welcome back at Queen's Festival. This is a day of chess, and we are going to see games today. The tournament has already started. This is the finals. The participants and the qualifiers from all the continents are now facing each other, and I cannot wait to share the board on the screen. We can take a look at the first game. Here we have Julia Alberedo with white pieces against Olga Zemina. Here we have Rook and game. And black is trying to convert the material advantage into the full point. The other games are also in progress. Most of them are in the end game, and I would like to invite you to our YouTube channel to write who you are rooting for, which country you are supporting, which country you are, and you can also suggest me which game you would like to see. So I will quickly go there and show that to you. And in this game, we see that Olga Zemina, who is experienced chess player, international master, now playing for Italian national team for years, she converted this advantage into the point. So we can go to the next game. This is another end game still in progress. We have the pass pawn on h4, but this is not really enough to win the game. So here we have the repetition of the moves. We can meanwhile move to the other boards. This is one of the games which ended already. So here black one, I would like to remind you that this is the Blitz tournament, so the players are really limited on time. And here in this game, I can see that White lost this on the time. Hold on, we have a game in progress. So this is Marta Fierro, one of our speakers from America. American continent against Bantika Agrawal. She's playing here. Marta was, as I mentioned, the speaker previous week, and it was really interesting seminar about her activities, how active she is, and one of the projects that I have still in my head is the chess in the prisons. She managed to train young people to be chess coaches, and then they helped others and they spread the chess. Another beautiful example, what I remember from Marta's seminar was that she was always having and is always having the chess set in her working office. So whatever there is a photo interview or whatever, the chessboard is always in the scene, and this is also promotion of our game. So this game should be a draw here. It should not be really hard for any player to hold this a draw. We might see some sacrifices, for example, a knight sacrifice for a pawn or bishop sacrifice for a pawn, and this will be a draw. And there is not too much forces here in this board. And what is also very important, we have 4 groups here. So this is the group A, and I believe there are more games in other groups. I will quickly take a look and bring the game to you if we have something still in progress. The games in the category C has already ended, also B. And there is one game in category, and this game is also ended. King versus king cannot be any result but a draw. So this is the final game of the first round. The games are played very fast because you can see they have limited times. For this moment, we have about 40 seconds for both players, and black is having an extra bishop on e6. Black is also attacking with this rook on the second rank. Now she's trying to trade the queens. Of course, we know that when we have something extra, it is always good to try as much pieces as possible. So in the end game, they're gonna be risk-free position. Another thing which is very important in online chess is mouse sleep. That is happening time to time in some games. So I hope that today we will not have such a upset. And this is the game against between Gunavahana Oshini against Devi Herfesa. The final game. Let's see how black will convert. Now she wants to take b3 pawn, and then the combination of rook, bishop, and the pawn will win this game quite easily. Once again, I have the chat open, so if you have any suggestions, please write there. I will take a look. And just let me know which country, which player you're rooting for. Black is taking some time. Probably a3 here will be the next move. Then a rook can move on a side, and then e2. The bishop is guarding e2 square, and then rook comes on b1, and then pawn a1 should be the easiest plan, but black goes here for g2 pawn. Maybe she wants to grab that pawn and also h pawn. She wants to activate the king, maybe. Yeah, now it's time for king to come in the game. Black is not really afraid to give up one pawn because then she still have extra bishop and the pawn, and king is so close to the other pawns. Now the plan of black can be just to push f or h pawn, create a pass pawn, and that's it. 6 seconds, she made a move on the 6 seconds, and here we had the increment. And now here, white is hoping for a stalemate. Is this possible to happen? But yeah, not anymore. These games are played in Turnella platform. There is possibility to follow there, or you can stay here and follow the games like this. Let's see now what is the technique of black to promote. The easiest way in online chess is just to limit the king and then try to get second queen and then pre-move. Here on Tornello, there is a new tool. Players can pre-move their moves if they want to. Okay, for this moment, I think this is a good moment for second queen. Oh, what? Draw? No, this must be some mistake. I don't believe that there was a repetition of the moves. Let's take a look once again. No, there was no repetition of the moves. Yeah. So here the technique, what is really easy is to create the second queen and then to checkmate with two queens. You can do just, you can also bring the king closer. This is also easiest technique, like you have the position king and queen versus king and then checkmate. Or you can just play with this bishop and the queen. There are many ways to win this game. Yeah, let's see what happened. All the games are now finished, and I expect next round to start very soon. She flagged. Okay, she flagged. That's a good point. That's a good point. And now for the moment, I don't see a clock for this moment. So if black flagged here, that means that they are sharing the points because white cannot win this. White cannot win this game without only king. If she had a knight, if she had a bishop or rook or even a pawn, then white could win this. But when there is only one king, that's impossible to win. And that's a good point. Thank you so much for letting me know. All right, waiting for the next round to start. Another information, tomorrow we will have the team competition. So we have two events running these days. Today is individual tournament, and tomorrow gonna be a team competition. And prices are really nice. One of the prices are the classes and the seminars with experienced coaches and the grandmasters. I see that we have the first moves already. So let's take a look at this game. Here we have 1e4 in the game of Quanin Gong against Marta Fierro. White is going with the close Sicilian setup. I really like this setup for white. If you are now trying to find some opening setups, this is highly recommended because this pawn e4 and f4 are ready to to attack the king. Now, if I was played, white's idea is to get 94, 96. And that's why black quickly replied here, d5. She doesn't want to allow the opponent to get on e4, and then d6. That's going to be really good outpost for white. So here we have en passant. Once again, you can take a look. So when the pawn moves from 2 squares from the starting position, the opponent can en passant take the pawn. And here we have d3 next move. White is trying to develop the queen side pieces because yeah, white also needs queen side pieces if she's going to attack the black's king. Okay, so it is possible to follow. It is possible to follow the games on Tornella. That's a good news. So if your friend, if you let me know who is your friend, I can take a look at the game. Of course, for the moment we are in category A. So black is trying to develop the light square bishop, maybe on b7. And white's idea is somehow to find a plan to attack the king's king side. I'll take a look quickly if we have some interesting positions in other categories. Lila is playing. This streamer from Georgia, Lila is playing. I saw her name. Let me check her game. Yeah, for the moment I don't see the game. We have 4 categories at this tournament. Oh, I see now. So Lila's opponent is Kamila Hishchenko. And the position is very interesting. Seems like white has pawn on the queen side. She can create a pass pawn out of this. And meanwhile, black has a very strong central chain. And yeah, it is just up to the taste which color you would like to, you prefer to play. I believe that the game is double-edged here. Both sides has good chances to fight for a win. White can start to move the pawn. What she's doing, she's trying to defend b2 pawn. Now she's attacking c4 pawn. And also queen e2 is multitasking, attacking on c4, and also e4 pawn is no longer hanging. Black also has, on the other hand, really good open b file, so the queen is quite active and has 2 targets, b2 and a4. And all black's pieces are pretty active. We might see some maneuvering later on. Knight d7, knight c5 to get on d3. After e5, now white has to react somehow, either to take on e5 or push f5. Yeah, all these moves have its good and bad sides, but here white decided to play rook on d1, and if black takes, now bishop takes on f4, and d6 pawn will be backward pawn. And here Lila's strategy is to attack on e4 instead of defense d6 pawn. Actually, it's hard to defend when bishop and the rook are attacking at the same time. And black wants to trade d6 pawn for e4. White has here time advantage. Now it's limited, but earlier it was it was a bigger advantage on the clock. And she's taking some time to think. I think this is a good moment to use the time. Yes, and white decided to defense e4 pawn instead of trade it, and d5. I like this move. It's very active. There is a pin. I believe that white should push now pawn e5, and white cannot take the d5 pawn because the queen is hanging. And after e5, knight might go on d7. And still, this game is double-edged. In the future, these pawns in the end game, C and D pawns will be really strong. So I think white should take this into the consideration to stop these pawns as fast as possible. Here we have the full screen. Time is ticking on the clock. Seconds are left, and here it's so hard to judge the position, but we can only observe. Black captured the bishop on f4, and now the pawn e5 is not protected. So that means that black got a pawn extra here. And black needs to look out for some tactical motives, because knight with the combination of with combination of queen, it can be really dangerous. So here white is trying to make some combination, but here we have black captured a piece, and now in this position black has an extra piece and should not be very hard to convert. And here we have resignation from black. All right, we can move to the next game, and here we have the end game. Looks really nice, a center for white, but it is unbalanced position. Black has a piece for 3 pawns. We know that the bishop and the knight cost 3 pawns, but this is an end game. This is an end game, and here what is really important, how active pieces are. Black managed to block the f and g pawn, and now black is trying to activate bishop and their rook. Here we have the check already on h3. But on the other hand, white's pawns are connected. They are pretty strong, and now white is asking if you want to trade. I'm fine with that. This game is really interesting. I don't know which color would you like to play this position. Black has here, of course, material advantage because now the bishop is for 2 pawns, but white's king is really active. Maybe white will try to somehow to play king c5, b5, then to push the pawn. Okay, black king also gets the right position, and now the chances of draw is not that high anymore. Thirty seconds versus 10 seconds. And now, as the pawns are blocked, black king will start to collect all the pawns, and then just roll these 2 pawns to the queen. So here we have the resignation. We can meanwhile move to the next position. Oh wow! White played really interesting move, rook h3, and did not really ignored the fact that bishop was hanging, but she had an idea to take the pawn and to play rook and rook against rook and knight, which is drawn. But Black got it and played intermediate move, which was winning. And here we have an extra queen and the knight on the board, so we might see a resignation. Right. All the games here are finished. One last game is still going on. Rook versus knight and a pawn. But black is getting the pawn back. This might be a draw. This might be a draw. Yeah, and here we have black. Black was not too much ambitious, and that makes actually sense. The rook and the knight are very strong. Here, let me quickly show you why black did not capture the free piece, just because e7 and white is one move away to be a queen, and king is really misplaced, and rook is also at the wrong file, so this game would anyway end in a draw. Do we have anything in the category A? No. All the games has already finished, so now already waiting for the third round. They're playing really fast. They are playing really fast. As I earlier mentioned, all the games are online on Tornella, so you can also take a look at these games and suggest any interesting positions if they are happening. So we have 4 categories, and let me tell you more details about this category. So in category A, we have players with a rating up to 2100 and plus. Then we have category B, and there are the players with 1800 and 2099. So this is category B. Then we have category C, where the players have the rating margin between 1,500 and 1,700. And the final category D is 1,500 or less rated players, or some of them might be unrated. Waiting for the third round to start. This should start quite soon, and then we have a short break after round 3. I hope you will not go anywhere, because there are a few people watching, and I kindly ask that to share this link among your friends. Maybe they would like to see some of the games. I know many chess games are happening right now, but if there is a player from your country, I think it's worth to stay and support. So we're gonna have 11 rounds today, and this tournament is round robin, and we have the qualifiers here. These players already played the other tournament, qualification tournament, and they won this tournament, and they are here now fighting for the prizes. In the finals, the time control is 3 minutes plus 2 seconds. This is really a short time control. So, and where are the games? Why they are not starting? Waiting for the next games to start. Is there a chance that they are having a break already? Yeah, there's a chance that they are having a break, so we will take also a break, and I'm coming back right at the time when the first moves are played.
To be a good chess player, you need to have confidence and faith in yourself that you can win a game or so. Not being a sore loser and just be smart. A girl that likes to play chess is open to possibilities. She's motivated.
Has to want to fight.
All players, you may start White's clock.
You can't be one of the squirmy kids. You have to actually focus.
Not be scared or afraid of what's gonna happen.
If there's one thing every girl needs to have, it's determination, and if something goes wrong, they don't give up.
I think chess is going to benefit me later in life because you become more aware.
Chess is like life to me. Yeah, this.
I came a long way. First, I was anxious. I didn't really know how to move the pieces or whatever. I think chess is amazing. It gives you a second chance.
In my grade, I'm the only girl that plays chess. So.
I only know about like 2 or 3 girls, including myself, and about like 50 boys.
A lot of girls are intimidated because they're not playing against the same gender.
More boys play chess than girls because the really good grandmasters were like boys, so they may be like nervous and then they already feel like they lost.
It's funny because I usually play boys, but every single time I get really nervous for some reason.
I think girls are very intimidated by the number of boys. I am sometimes.
They're like whispering, oh look, I'm gonna beat her. But then when I beat them, they look totally crushed and they're like, how could I lose? How could I lose to a girl?
It would just show me how he didn't really have much respect for his opponent.
To get girls into chess, we can send a message showing them that girls are equal.
If I'm the only one, I'm like, hey, where did all the girls go?
And now I'm at this huge girls' nationals.
It's a unisex game. It's not only for one gender. You know what I mean?
There's no whispering that you're gonna lose because you're a girl, because we're all girls.
I actually get to play girls that I didn't even know, and I get to make new friends with them.
Other girls at my school definitely look up to me because I play something that's unique or different than what usually girls play.
When I win, it's like, wow, I got this right in the bag.
You're surrounded by, I don't know how many girls are here, but you know that you're not alone. Or you know that there's way more than just you.
So we're back, and I hope you enjoyed the video which we got from Jennifer Shahad, who was one of our speakers, and I hope you enjoyed with that story. Big thanks to Jennifer for sharing this. And here I have the list of the players, and I see that there are many title players. International Masters, Marta Fierro and Olga Zimina are the highest rated players. And then we have woman grandmaster, Quan Gong, also playing in here. And then we have a couple of women international masters, women FIDE masters from many countries from around the world. They qualified to this tournament, and as I mentioned earlier, we have 4 categories, and the organizers divided this tournament into 4 categories according to their ratings to make it more equal and to be more fair. So the games will start very soon. For the moment, they still have not started. I think they will start very soon. And I can see in category A there are many grandmasters there. Okay, so I have a good news that we have a guest now. Today's our speaker, Serhan Agashima is here. Hello again. Hello again. Just a second, I need to hear you. Who is also a FIDE master, and his rating is 2350. So this is
Yes.
really good. This is really good. We can talk a little bit about chess as well.
Hello, Katie. Nice to be back.
Yes, nice to have you back. So we are waiting for the round 3 to start very soon. And tell us if you play some online games nowadays.
Of course, I play almost every second day on Lichess and chess.com. I use different nicknames just in order to enjoy the chess. But so far, I'm really happy. I mean, I have something at the level of 2600 or something like this, so it's good.
Ooh, perfect. Then I have a really good help from your side, and I would like to share the position with you. Maybe we can talk a little bit about this position. And are you a Caro-Kann player?
Not with white, yes. With black, not that much.
Okay, we will see the position right now on the screen. All right, here we have Caro-Kann defense.
Yeah.
And tell us how do you feel when your opponent castles on the short side as well, and there is no king side attack? What is the plans here for white?
It's fine. I mean, there is no real tactics here. I mean, you should really feel the position when you go for these kind of positions. I can't say that white really has an advantage, but at the same time, I mean, black should be more accurate in order not to get any bad position. Is it a live game now?
It is a live game. It's happening now. Black just made the move rook e8. And this is the category A. So here we have international masters, women grandmasters, and women international masters playing a round robin tournament.
Yeah, I know Olga Zimina very well. I would rather prefer this with white, as I said. I mean, I prefer to play Caro-Kann with white, not with black. So rook e8. At some moment, maybe white will play, I don't know, taking on c5, and then knight goes on e5. Black is passive, and g3 is played. White is okay. King b8.
Something like both sides are waiting for each other.
Yeah, true. In that terms, let's play b3 here. Also, Knight e5 immediately.
Yes.
Honestly, I wouldn't play like this, but okay. Bishop on c3 is doing nothing after bishop e5.
It's better to have this
I,
bishop
yeah.
on f4, right?
Mm, okay. Rook c8. I would take, by the way, exchanging on e5 and then doing knight g8, knight e7. Either to f5 or to c6. Rook c8. Okay, b3.
Yeah, black is here planning to do some exchanges, and then maybe to attack on f4. But where the king going? Where the king going? She made so many moves with the king. First castle, then king b8, king a8. If there is a square next to it, legal square, she would go there
Yeah,
too.
this is what okay, I mean, rook d3, another one, rook on d1. Okay, the same idea.
Yeah, they are doubling the rooks on d file.
True.
And the knight on e5 is really strong piece attacking the pawn on f7.
True, and the idea is g4, g5 is also active.
Yeah, this idea here is always for white, no matter black castles on the short side or on the long side. This idea is really, really strong.
Yeah, g4 is a nice move, by the way, now. Because I would like to beg a pardon of the knight on f6 and then to play rook d7. Queen d1. Okay, also nice move. Oof.
Knight e4. That allows rook d7, but at the same time, the knight can capture on c3 with a check and force the opponent to double the pieces. Here we have, actually, we might see this coming.
Yes, knight c3, b takes c3, queen b6, queen b3, and you can and you should take on b3 probably. Otherwise, mate on b7. Or
Yeah.
queen. Or there is queen g1 check, and maybe some. Let's queen b3, queen g1 check. Actually, you cannot rescue from a3 because bishop on f8 controls that.
Oh, earlier today I wanted to ask you about the friendly games, or I don't know, maybe not friendly games at home between the brothers. So how was that going between you and Wogar?
At early age, I was getting the better results, but later he became a prodigy, and that was really tough to play against him.
But was you first who get the title, or he was the first who got the title?
At the national level, yes, I was the first who got the title, but later, I mean, his talent really, I mean, completely changed all the things.
Yes.
And at official level, of course, I mean, he got his IM, if I'm not mistaken, at 11, and then was some issues with the health, and the GM he got a bit later, but still, I mean, he was playing at this really high level.
Wow.
And of course, I didn't even came to that level, I mean, to play to get the GM title.
There was no jealousy, only supporting the brother?
Yeah, and I was really enjoying doing the role of manager, and I continue doing it with a pleasure.
That's really amazing. That's really amazing. I believe
Yeah.
if Vugar is with us right now, the chess world would look a little bit different, not too much different. But I really believe in that. He was amazing chess player and true talent. So what is happening here? Now Black is the one who is trying to checkmate.
Yeah, queen c6 now. Almost mate is there. Rook a2. Okay, king b3. I'm not sure if no. Okay, queen g2
Ooh,
and
queen g2 is another track.
yes, king b1 is the only move. Okay, queen f1, queen a1, check, king c2, rook a2, king. Okay, mate should be somewhere there.
Yeah.
Oh, this is also mating.
Yeah, now rook and bishop is
Now,
also
why
helping.
not rook c3, bishop e3 check, and queen d2 was a mate.
Yeah, it was a mate in 2 moves. Now it's gonna take a little bit longer for black, but
Yeah, but
it comes with the checks.
yes, no chance to rescue.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what king. You see how important was to keep king on a8, avoiding
Yeah.
from any possible checks.
Yeah. I have to take back my words about the king. It was a prophylactic move.
Yeah, but for that position, I mean, it was honestly not the best one.
Yeah. This is another game, one of the final game in the progress. Here White is having some difficulties and now already losing a rook as well. Let me
Both,
quickly...
yeah, both on position and the time-wise.
Yeah. Okay, we have some games in progress. Here we have this end game. Oh, this is interesting. This is interesting.
f6, take. Okay. Yeah, king, bishop d4. No way. No, it's lost now.
Yeah.
There was a chance maybe on the b4, but still, I mean, not enough tempos.
Yeah.
Do we have more games?
Yeah, let me see other games. This is one more in progress. Oh, it just ended. It's still
Another
waiting.
one is white
Yeah, this is
one.
the last one.
Okay.
Oh, in the first round we saw really heartbreaking results. One side had extra queen, bishop, and the rook. Oh, just queen, bishop, and the pawn, and the time went out, and it ended in a draw. What is your favorite time control?
3 without any incrementals.
But I was surprised that you said 3 minutes, but not a
Yes.
1 minute bullet game.
Yeah, 1 minute is also nice, but when you have a good internet connection.
And a good mouse.
Otherwise, yes. I mean, the mouse. I don't use mouse, by the way. I am playing from my mobile phone.
Oh, really?
Yes, with your fingers. I mean, you can move your pieces much faster.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Do you have some more time to stay with us for the other round, or because I know
Yes,
you're
I
very
am.
busy.
No, at least I mean, sometimes we can enjoy our weekends, and one of the
Yeah.
weekends, and every weekend we are spending with chess, and this time with the Queen's Festival is a great pleasure.
That is really, really nice. Once again, I would like to remind for those who just joined, please take a look at the seminar of the morning. Today we had a very interesting topic, gender equality, and it was really and truly something that makes all of us think about it very deeply.
But when it's expected, the next round will start.
Next round will start very, very soon. There is if there are some cases with connection, arbiters are trying to fix them and then to start all the games together. So I really expect to have next round quickly.
Do you really enjoy putting your pad on the keyboard?
Sorry?
Do you really enjoy, I mean, using your pad on the keyboard?
Yes, talking about chess. I tried to play a couple of times with my tablet because I was like, okay, this is the screen touch and I can do it faster, but it did not really help me to play better bullet.
Mm, yeah, okay, maybe.
Yeah, they are still waiting. We're still waiting for the games to start. So, and do you have something planned already? Because we know you are also an organizer of the events in Azerbaijan. Is there something on the calendar already?
Yes, recently we got an approval to organize any events. So 24th of July is the birthday of Ugar,
Hmm.
and that's the annual event for us. I mean, usually we do it the children tournament. This time we will try to make it an open tournament. I mean, and also we have a great hope that we will be able to get back the Ugar Gashimov memorial, the super tournament, also later this year. There are negotiations on this. We'll try to find both the time on the schedule, because I mean it's these days. I mean, after pandemic, it's really hard to find any free slot. I mean, to organize the 10 days event. And also, I mean, a lot of when you organize only for open or only the children tournament, you should also think about what to do for other GMs who is not joining the open tournaments and not going for the super tournament. So in between, they should be also.
Hmm.
But I'm really happy that Europe is taking a lead on this, organizing a lot of tournaments. ECU is really active these days, so we will, I guess, we will see more tournaments
Hmm.
coming this year, and I'm really happy that it's already announced that the European Club Cup will be there. As you know, we have also Bugargashev Chess Club that will be joining.
Hmm.
Last time we joined, and it was quite successful with the young generation. So we will continue the tradition, joining with the generation of
Oh.
prodigies.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. That's amazing to have to have team competition, to have some team spirit.
Yeah,
Because in chess we have individual sport is individual sport, and sometimes it is good also to be part of the team. And tell us about how the chess academy, Gashimov Chess Academy, worked during pandemic time. Was there online classes, or you managed to do um, still have
uh,
standard classes?
yeah. Due to complete lockdown, of course, I mean there was a time that we were closed, the physical
Hmm.
chess, but the online really raised up all these days. And now, even that we got an approval that it's fine. I mean, to get for the, let's say, less people in the room, but still it goes in both way. I mean, we have uh, both online chess class and physical chess class as well. And recently we launched a new academy, also in the city of Baku. It's much bigger and with the big tournament hall. So we have plans, I mean, to organize more and more tournaments in Baku. By the way, I mean, I've touched the topic of European Club Cup and the generation next, or the generation
Hmm.
prodigies. I remember when my friends was asking me, I mean, how you motivate those young guys, I mean, in order to play that good against very strong and well-known GMs. And you will not believe, but the motivation for them was, I mean, the parents doesn't allow them, I mean, to eat burgers. So in our case, in case they would win, I mean, we would go for the burgers. So that was the real motivation. Sometimes it's easy to agree and to deal with the guys.
You had something like this when you were kids, some motivations that your parents were
Yeah,
bringing?
yeah. I mean, that was the motivation. I mean, they are not asking for the uh, too much philosophy, I would say, but they are going for simply stuff. Burger is making us happy and give us the GMs. We will play against them.
Yeah, that's very nice. Yeah, we're expecting the games to start very soon.
And if I am not mistaken, last time I met you, it was Batumi, many, many years ago.
Olympiad.
Maybe. No, it even earlier. Only in, I don't know, Black Sea. It was related to Black Sea tournament, if you remember, open tournament.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
it was really,
There was in Batumi we had such an amazing chess events like happening too many tournaments in Batumi, like 3 4 international tournaments. And it was real celebration for Georgians also to have a chance to go to the seaside and to play
yeah.
tournament as well. Yeah, but now
But
during pandemic time, we just have everything online.
uh, I guess everything will change soon. We will really value the chance to travel somewhere.
Right. All right, they're having some break. They are having some break. I think we should also take some break because after round three, according to the regulations, there is a bigger break. Um, but seems like they have some breaks before between the rounds. So thank you very much once again for coming and for being our guests today. I really appreciate all the work you're doing for chess and your family, and hope to see you at some chess event.
Likewise, thanks once again for having me, and I wish you good luck for the rest events of during the Queen Festival. Bye.
Thank you. Let's have a break.
Okay.
To be a good chess player, you need to have confidence and faith in yourself that you can win a game or so.
Not being a sore loser and just be smart. A girl that likes to play chess is open to possibilities.
She's motivated.
Has to want to fight.
All players, you may start White's clock.
You can't be one of the squirmy kids. You have to actually focus. Not be scared or afraid of what's gonna happen.
If there's one thing every girl needs to have, it's determination. And if something goes wrong, they don't give up.
I think chess is going to benefit me later in life because you become more aware.
Chess is like life to me. Yeah, this.
I came a long way. First, I was anxious. I didn't really know how to move the pieces or whatever. I think chess is amazing. It gives you a second chance.
In my grade, I'm the only girl that plays chess. So.
I only know about like 2 or 3 girls, including myself, and about like 50 boys.
A lot of girls are intimidated because they're not playing against the same gender. More boys play chess than girls because the really good grandmasters were like boys, so they may be like nervous and then they already feel like they lost. It's funny because I usually play boys, but every single time I get really nervous for some reason.
I think girls are very intimidated by the number of boys. I am sometimes.
They're like whispering, oh look, I'm gonna beat her. But then when I beat them, they look totally crushed and they're like, how could I lose? How could I lose to a girl?
it would just show me how he didn't really have much respect for his opponent.
To get girls into chess, we can send a message showing them that girls are equal.
If I'm the only one, I'm like, hey, where did all the girls go?
And now I'm at this huge girls' nationals.
It's a unisex game. It's not only for one gender. You know what I mean?
There's no whispering that you're gonna lose because you're a girl, because we're all girls.
I actually get to play girls that I didn't even know, and I get to make new friends with them.
Other girls at my school definitely look up to me because I play something that's unique or different than what usually girls play.
When I win, it's like, wow, I got this right in the bag.
You're surrounded by, I don't know how many girls are here, but you know that you're not alone. Or you know that there's way more than just you.
We're back. The next round will start at 1:20, so that gives us about 7 minutes to take a look at the previous games that we have not covered. So I will bring some of the games on the screen and we can take a look at the beginning. So here is the game of Marta Fierro versus Heredia Argote. And here in this position, White won this game because of the time, but it looks pretty equal. White has an extra pawn, but opposite colored bishop should be enough to draw here. So it was black to play. It was black to play. Black could just push the pawn. I can make this move on the board and try to hold the position together. Everything protects each other, and we have opposite color of bishop. So there was a good chance here to draw, but because of time, we have only 2 seconds of increment. The game was lost here for black. So the other games, we can also take a look that we missed previous game. Here is one of these games. Here White managed to win this game, and the game is winning here. Black cannot can set up the position for a draw. It's pretty much winning. And the other game is this pawn end game here. Black resigned because there is no chance to stand up for 3 extra pawns in the pawn end game. Another position which ended in a victory of Black was this one here. Black has too many extra material. So we were analyzing this game here. Lila Koridze managed to win, and it was a beautiful game. After a while here, Black started to push the pawns and then win the knights. Here we had an unfortunate blunder from White side, and after bishop f4, White cannot defend knight and the queen at the same time. So the next round will start very soon, as I mentioned earlier. And here is another victory of Lila. She managed to pin the queen, and it is winning position. Lila is playing in Group B. Yeah, she's playing in Group B. So Group B, we have players below 2100. FIDE rating in Group C. Let me quickly take a look at Group C. This looks really nice position. It's not too many moves. Let's take a look from the beginning. So we have Karkan defense here, the standard variation. Oh, this is not pretty much standard here. Bishop c4. Usually White captures the pawn back, and we have the classical setup after bishop f5. But here White went for bishop c4. I have not seen this move in my practice, but seems like it exists. Now White goes for f3. She wants to sacrifice the pawn and to develop pieces as fast as possible. Bishop g4 seems a blunder to me, because after bishop f7, which was played, knight e5, and now White can capture the bishop back on g4. And as a result here, Black lost the right to castle, and also f pawn is missing, so that makes Black king very weak. Now White tries to do some maneuvering with the knight, and here we have a check, and queen captures h6 bishop. The game is winning for White, of course, but after this check, yeah, black cannot really get rid of many threats here. One of the threats are rook c1 with idea knight c7 fork. It can also be queen h5 check. Here rook has to come here on g6, and now just to capture this pawn back here, and of course the position is winning. Once again, we can take a look at the beginning when black blundered the pawn. So bishop g4 was a mistake here from black side, and you can remember this is very typical motive here when the bishop develops on g4. If you can capture f7 pawn with a check and then knight comes on e5, you have to do it. You have to do it because you're going to win a pawn. What is happening here? Let's take a look at this game. This is the category C, and there's so many pieces, and the position is queen versus pair of rooks. And as you can see here, the game ended just because white is losing a queen here that leaves black with extra 2 rooks, and of course we have a resignation. So I see the games are slowly starting, so this is a good news for all of us. Now we had really big break, but in the next rounds we don't expect big breaks, so this is really good. Let's take a look at the games now. We are in category A, so this is our first game. Olga Zimina is one of the favorite of this tournament, but in category A we have several women grandmasters and women international masters, so this is not very easy tournament for her. And here we see this not the main line with the b4, but let's say uncommon move here, which stops pawn to come on c5. But on the other hand, the both pawns are at the same color of the bishop, and white in the future might trouble with this dark square bishop. She's looking for the center and more space. Her idea is to play bishop e2 castle, and then knight e5. And black has to develop here the bishop, of course, because this bishop here might be a problem. As you can see, some of black's pawns are also on this color. Yeah, very aggressive approach from Olga Zimina here. She tries to first develop the queen side, get some space on the queen side, and then to castle. Usually what we do in chess, we're getting the center, developing the pieces, and quickly trying to castle. But here she has a different approach. And she is 2 moves away to castle, but on the other hand, she got something here. She might occupy knight's b3 c5 square. Also e5 square is under knight's control. And on the other hand, black does not really suffering too much of the weaknesses. So we can call this game as a equal. Also time looks pretty much equal for both players. With black pieces, we have a women grandmaster whose rating is 2300, so she might not be scared of anything now. So black's idea was to play bishop c2 and gather this queen here on d1. That's why here Olga played rook c1. She's playing from the very beginning on the queen side. She's just 1 move away to castle, and that's what black is actually doing, using the fact that white has to make some castles. Knight b6, now attacking the pawn. Maybe bishop d3 is the next move to stop king from castling, and then knight c4. This can be an idea. Another idea here can be just to develop the pieces, get this queen somewhere out, and then rook c1 will be on the way to attack the queen. But instead, she goes for knight e4. This is also pretty much logical move. Now she trades the knight, and maybe queen d7. Yeah. She trade this knight just because, yeah, we would not voluntarily trade e4 very active knight for a very passive d2 but her idea was to play queen d3, and there is not knight e5 threat for that queen. Queen c5, that's the double attack on e7 pawn, and also knight and knight c8 is only one move, which means that black can no longer play rook c8, and white can play next move maybe bishop b3 to attack d5 pawn, just to win some tempo here, and next to play rook c1 and occupy c file. Here c5 is only open file, and if white controls that, white might have an advantage. Yeah, white might have here an advantage. Bishop f8. Now black was preparing e5 and queen c7. If the position goes to the endgame will be better for white, because white has more space and all the pieces are located really well and can start to push f3. e4, that's why she's not afraid to trade some queens. And somehow I have a feeling that black is running out from the moves, so also from on the time, because her clock says that she's down to 50 seconds. And meanwhile, we can move forward and see the other game, which looks also very interesting. So the king is naked. There are no pawns around the king. We have double pawns. How this happened? We can take a look at this game from the beginning very quickly. So it was Sicilian defense. So far we have the theory, and very typical sacrifice here, knight d5. She just sacrificed the piece. Now she's getting back this piece, and also all the files and the diagonals are open, so this is a good deal for white. But here knight comes on g4 and knight is very active. Okay, I'm not sure about this trade, but bishop f2 was a brilliant idea. So we have h5. Now g4 pawn is also hanging. Okay, now you cannot take the g4 pawn. You cannot take the g4 pawn because queen takes, hitting the queen, and then next move she can move the rook. So that's why bishop came back on d6, and white was forced to make some sacrifices here. White's only hope here, is this bishop. This bishop and attack on the king side. Maybe she will play rook g1 next move. First she trades the pawns. Queen g4 can be the next move, and rook g1. There is a knight and 2 pawns for exchange, but the king still remains the weak on h1. And now, giving up g6 pawn, this equals the possibilities for both sides. And now if black moves the rook, then bishop h7 wins the game, and here we have resignation. This is something that we might not expect in this game. So the rook is hanging on e8, and if rook moves somewhere, let's say here, then bishop h7 wins the game because there is a check, queen can't take, and if king takes, then queen takes g7. That was a beautiful game. Let's take a look quickly to this one. Here black has extra 2 pawns. Should not be hard to convert this advantage into the point. And she is about to queen now. a1 queen is with a check, and black has 2 queens. Oh, we can take a look at the games if you have any suggestions. I have one in D category. Let me quickly get in there. I just check the comments. And after these games, I will still remain here, even if we have a break, and I will take a look at the games. So category D. All right, I am here. Okay, the game has already ended. The game has already ended, so I cannot say right now. We are waiting for the end of all the games, and then I can go and see. And here we have a checkmate. How about this position? How about this position? Black has an extra queen, but very beautiful pawn chain, which will be out because queen started to collect all these pawns. Now black can simply start to push g pawn. Black is trying to get the king also closer to the pawn, so that makes black queen free to move. And we have another queen endgame in other position that might end in a draw, but this one looks really nice. Black here managed to push the pawn. Now the pawn is hanging, so queen g4 is a check and guards the pawn. So after king f3, g2 might happen, and king f2. And white is going to get another pawn. Both players are having seconds on the clock, so this might this might be really shaky position, shaky. Oh, black won. Okay, black won on time. Yeah, black won on time. So another position here we have, this is a queen endgame I was talking about here. Black should not trade the queens because the white pawns are too forward and they are closer to be promoted. So now what black is doing here is just some checks, and white is hoping that king will be hiding into the pawns, and this is really good position for king. Now after queen b5, the pawn can start to be pushed on b7. King a7 can be the next move. Oh, that's the way she's stopping. That's the way she's stopping. All right, no more check. Queen. Oh no, queen. No, queen e7 was a blunder. I wanted to say queen e7 stops, but it was a blunder. Queen could capture this back. But yeah. It's just queen c2 was easier to see. Probably after king h8, she plans to play this one and they promote the pawn to the queen, and the game is winning. But queen e7 was really funny blunder. All right, let's take a look if we have some games in progress. No, we don't have. So now it's time to take a look at the game you suggested in the chat. We'll try to get the player. I think she's from India, right? Yeah, Gambit was declined. No one needs queen when there is a check on the board. Okay, this is the person we are looking. So in this game, she won because her opponent disconnected. Let's see what happened in the previous match. Oh, there are too many games. Too many games. I will check one by one. Okay, I found it. So this is the game here. White resigned. White lost on time, but also the position is pretty bad for white because black has extra 2 rooks. We can take a look from the beginning, maybe. All right. So we have Scandinavian here. When queen comes very quickly into the center, yeah, both players developed the pieces perfectly well, and here white started to trade some more pieces. Of course, bishop d3 is not a bad idea to trade the very active bishop, but there can be also some moves like rook e8 or rook d8 first, just to keep the pieces on the board. Maybe later on to trade a dark square bishop. And to get the knight on e5. There can be some ideas like this. But she went for bishop d3. Some changes here. Back on d2. Now she traded another bishop. Yeah, exactly. This is the point when you have also rooks well developed. Most like c5, e5 is not gonna be good because this gonna open the file for the rook. So far, everything is fine. Oh, no, 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 no. This was... Okay, this was a blunder. This was a blunder here. The pawn should be captured by the queen or by the rook, not by the knight. Because knight takes here, I think we'll lose immediately after e5, but black first played a3 to attack this, and then e5. And black got the piece. And here we have a knight collecting the pawns. And now the exchange is gone as well. So this game ended like this. Now black is threatening rook e1 to win the queen. And yeah, white cannot really avoid this. Oh, here we have another game. Here we have another game. I think that game was the round 1. Round 2, we saw there was this connection, and maybe this is the round 3. Yeah, this is round 3. Let's take a look what happened in the end. And meanwhile, I have to take a look if we have some more games in progress. No, they have not started yet. They have not started yet. This game, I remember this game. I take a quick look at this one. So once again, here we have this setup with the central pawns, d5, c5. White decided here to be a little bit passive and allow opponents to have the control in the center. But now she puts e5. Yeah, here what I learned from my practice is that if I avoid this e5, it's way much better for me. For example, queen c7, if I can stop this pawn for a moment, it's going to be better. She can, of course, play rook e1 here. Let me show this. Rook e1 with the same idea. And here, I was also castling, and then I was under a very huge attack on the king side. And my coach said, "Why are you castling here and not playing b6?" And after this, let's make some moves. Now e5 pawn is hanging, queen e2. Why not you try to castle on the long side and start to attack on the king side? So that was a good advice, and from now on I'm trying to do it. Let's see what happened in the game. e5 was played. Actually, she did the same. She did the same, but the castle is already on the short side. Here, this is a plan. White is attacking, and h4 says so, that she's attacking on the king side, and black is attacking on the queen side because of the pawn's activity. And of course, everybody likes to attack the king. Why not? Let's see what happened. Yeah, e6 pawn was gone. Okay, she wants to. I think she could take this. Oh no, she could not take this. She could not take this because after this one, the bishop is hanging. Yeah, that's what was missed. Let's see the end. Let's see the end. So here we have exchange for white. And white rooks got on the 7th rank, which means that she is just one move away from checkmating the black pieces. All right, there was the game. I will now take a look at some interesting positions. This is beautiful checkmate here with the combination of two knights, two rooks and a knight. If anyone has any suggestions to take a look at the game, please let me know. I'm here, I'm reading the chat. You don't worry about that. Before our second game, our next round. Yeah, our next round should start in about 1 minute according to the schedule. Let's see what happened here. This checkmate happened here. H takes G, and king cannot escape from this position. Let me get to the first group. So this is the in the first group there are a few people, less people than the last groups. So here we have the opposite color of bishop. White won here. Olga Zimina won this game because her pawns are very very strong. It is hard to stop. And meanwhile, this pawn is stopped by the bishop, and it is worth to mention that king cannot stop all these 3 pawns. So we had a resignation over here. All right, they're starting new games, so we can focus on that. And here we have the first game. We have Caro-Kann defense once again. So we saw Olga Zimina playing Caro-Kann defense in this tournament a lot. So far we have a classical endgame of Caro-Kann, where white plays bishop d2, c5. I have never seen c5 here. Seems like Olga knows what she is doing. She's 2400 player. Usually black first develops all the pieces, then takes care of the king, and then pushes c5 is the main idea here in this pawn structure. She's not afraid of queen b5 check. She was not afraid. So she changed this strategy here. Instead of knight b7, knight bd7, she plays knight on c6 and immediately attacks the d4 pawn. That's interesting. I would consider queen b4 here. This queen b5 possibility. White is thinking. We also have woman grandmaster playing with white pieces. So queen b5 is targeting b7 pawn, and when black defends that, let's say queen here, in that case, knight might come on e5 to pin the knight c6 with idea bishop f4. She's still thinking. No, she's not thinking. She made bishop e3 move. That means that she wants to capture the c5 pawn, and it will be protected by the bishop. But what happens if black captures now here? We have, I believe that she will take it with the bishop. She will not trade the queens. As we know that the king is in the center, maybe white will start to target this king and to attack the king in the center. Maybe rook e1, knight f5 ideas. So we don't have the trades on d4. We have instead queen a5 that attacks a2 pawn. Queen b3 was played, and long castle. Everything on time. Everything on time. And 95, as with Sarkhan earlier, we analyzed this kind of position. 95 is is white's idea, but black has to capture, which happened here. I think now Olga knew about it. She understood it, that she has to capture this knight, not to have any difficulties. And now she's capturing the knight, bishop as well. So in the end game, we're gonna have bishop and bishop versus knight. Bishop versus knight. Yeah, I cannot say this that this bishop is very bad. I cannot say, because there is some ideas. Bishop e7, bishop g5. Or for the moment, if bishop just remains on e7, that can be also fine, because it somehow after 94 controls all the squares that knight can access. Rook d1. Queen might come on c7 and to try rook d8, but no, she goes for more active play, and of course this is way much better to play more active in the blitz. And anyway, we have here rook d8. We might see some trades on d file, and I don't know, usually I really like to play end games here with black, but white doesn't have any difficulties. We might see a draw in here. Let's take a look at this game. This looks really nice. Position, as you can see, there are two bishops targeting the king side. The rooks are also doubled on the f file, and queen is ready to start some attack on the king side. We might see queen h5, and it's just happening. And in some position, if white decides to trade the bishop for the knight, that can be really, really good to have opposite colored of bishop, and white is clearly in attack here in this position. So now there is check on e6 coming, and the bishop is hanging on f6. So black has to defend these two threats. Probably good just going back. Might make some sense. Black is thinking. She's down to half a minute. Yeah, and the increment is only 2 seconds, so black has to speed up a little bit here. White can get the pawn. So after king h8, there will be some kind of trades like this, and white can get this extra pawn here. And I think that's really good position. If bishop g7, then queen e8 wins. So this is currently the position. Instead, white decided after king h8 to capture on d6, and here queen takes b8 is intermediate check, and yeah, black can't really move, because after this there will be a checkmate. There will be a checkmate on f8. That's a beautiful game. White played. So in this game, white tries to attack the king. So here we have rook lift on the third rank, and black is not just sitting there. She also has very strong battery with the bishop and the queen targeting g2 pawn, and bishop on f1 has to stay for a while to defend g2 point. White has an extra pawn, but all black's pieces are super active, and it makes white's task a little bit harder. yeah, this manoring queen comes on g3 just to free the bishop, and now bishop starts to manoring. So what she's doing, maybe she wants to play rook on d1 or bishop on d1 and target h5. Oh, she goes immediately bishop f5. So white here has an extra exchange, and it is just about the realization how well white will manage to realize the advantage here. Yeah, watch out for this pawn. Watch out for this pawn. So black is claiming here that I will defend b5 pawn, and on the king side I have an advantage. So how you're going to win? That's a good question actually, if white is able to win this position. King is super active. King comes on f2 already. Yeah, I'm not sure about this activity here of black, maybe because there will be some king f6 and then sacrifice of the rook. Yeah, g5 will be next move, then king e5, king f6, and this rook will be sacrificed for the pawn and the bishop, and the game is winning for white. Yeah, very nice technique here. Now she can go for f7 pawn. King f4 might be played, and rook d4, rook c4 wins the game. No, she's not playing. Now she wants to get this bishop here. Now she wants to get this bishop here. Rook d7 probably? No. Okay, rook b2 and rook e2. This should be enough. This should be enough. Black has now connected pass pawns, and in general, this is really big strength. Together with the bishop, and is usually overpower of the rook. But here we see the c pawn is also very strong, and the rook will help the pawn to be pushed. And yeah, the king is closer. King is closer now after c7. This is winning. This should be winning. c8. And white can start checks. Yeah, queen and the rook in this kind of endgame is a great power. I think that was the end of this round. Let me quickly check all the games, and we can make several moves here. Black could continue to play with some checks, but that's not gonna be enough, because king will try to hide, and then white will be ready to start some checks. So let's see one or two more moves here. Let's say queen on e7. King comes in here, and now it's time to start some checks. So white has a good chances here to win, but somehow it was possible still to go and play and to try the best. But yeah, black lost this game on time. Yeah, our next game will start in about 7 minutes. So meanwhile, we have some time to take a look at the games that we have not looked earlier. Oh, this is the game we checked actually, so we can move to the next one. Here, white lost this game because lots of material is missing here. And here we have two queens. Oh, Zemina lost this game. We have to take a look at this one. Because this is the final moment we stopped. That's a good question. In the previous game in here, actually, Black could sacrifice the pawn. Let's take a look here in this position. Yeah, here. I think that's best chance here, just to sacrifice the bishop and to try to push the pawns. But honestly, the king is really close. So yeah. And if you start to push g5 pawn first, it will not change much. Usually these positions with king very close is winning for the side of rook. And just get in front of the pawns, and then just do, yeah, here it's hard to find a move because these pawns are losing against the king's activity. So we want to take a look at this game. This is the final moment that we took a look. No, it was not the final moment. We saw the rook d1 as well. Here we don't have rook trade. Both players wanted to win. So here we have the pawn on d4. But this is blocked. White started with very strong attack. Earlier we mentioned this with Sarhan, that g4, g5 is very strong idea here in the endgame, in Caro-Kann endgame. So if you're a Caro-Kann player, if you play with a black, you have to watch out for this idea, because white is creating a pass pawn here on the king side, or creating some weakness. And if you're a player with white pieces, you can always use this idea. So here we have, of course, this move was not mandatory to take on g5. You might wait a little bit. So she took, and now white is just two moves away to create a pass pawn. And yeah, this pawn is too far, and the knight will guard it, and it's gonna be really strong. So here we have this exact position. Yeah. So that was an easy game for white. And this beautiful idea here, after rook moves somewhere, bishop h7 wins the queen. This is another game here. Marta won against Julia. So black has an extra exchange, and she lost on time. Also, the position is very tough here. Knight is sort of trapped in here. Hard to move this knight anywhere. And then e4 is coming, or we might see some sacrifice. Or we don't even need that, just simple moves like bishop e7, g5 will simply win this position. Yeah, and the others are just from the previous rounds. The game's next round will start in 3 minutes, so that gives us some time to take a look at the other games, other interesting games. Yeah, as I see, the most of the participants are in category B. I'll quickly take a look at that. Where are the... Oh. You can also see that. Perfect. Okay, you can see that. Okay, perfect. So this is the playlist of the players. So our speaker, Marta Fierro, is #1 here. She's international master and women grandmaster. Her rating back then was 2400. Also, Olga Zimina is international master. Her rating used to be also 2400. And here we have women grandmaster, women international master, and women grandmaster. So 2 women grandmasters here. three women international masters, and a lot of women FIDE masters. We have in this category, in this finals. All right. So our final rounds will be starting very soon, shortly in 2 minutes. And is there someone that you are rooting for? Just let me know. From my country, there's Lila, representing Georgia, and I know Olga and Marta in person. So let me know if you are rooting someone here, or you know some person now in this list. Once again, I remind you that tomorrow we will have team competition. The teams will compete each other. This is also very interesting. So I invite you to come at 2 p.m. Central European Time. And earlier we're gonna have another seminar. All right, let's take a look at some more games. In this tournament, the festival started a couple of weeks ago, and here we had several qualifiers who reached then the finals. So, and now they can fight for the prizes. Here we have another checkmate. This looks interesting. The black king is very active. There is an extra pawn also on the board. And all black's pieces are very active. White lose this game on time. Of course, white could go and try some more moves, but clearly black is the side who is playing for a win. We have a lot of games ending on a flag-in. We have a lot of games. This is another game here. White won. It's beautiful diagonal for white, and c6 pawn is hanging. So black here decided to resign, as black cannot really defend the pawn. Black cannot really defend. So if black plays bishop e4 to guard the pawn, anyway, there's knight c6 because of this check. There's actually double check, and next move white can grab any rook she would like. All right, new game started. This is round 6 already. So let me pick one game and I will start to analyze. Let's take a look at this game. Here we have a very quick development of the queen. Queen is already on the g3, starting to make some problems on the king side. And here we have, I was trying so hard to make this arrow on the board, and meanwhile she played bishop h6. Bishop f6 has to be played here to defend this threat. For the moment there is a pin, so the bishop is not hanging, but white has to get rid of the bishop on f6. And meanwhile it's, oh, knight e4. Oh, I didn't see that move. This is nice. So the whole point is, if you capture here, then knight will capture. On e6, queen is hanging, rook is hanging, and g7 pawn is hanging. It's up to your taste. There is a lot of pieces on the menu. Here black walks away with the king and allows white to capture the bishop. And now queen comes to defense. So far everything is under control. For black, how about move like f4, f5? First, she's kicking the knight back. Yeah, I would consider this and this. Instead, she goes for rook e1. Right, we can suggest black to play h6 here, just to trade queens. And then if there's not attention on the king side anymore, the c2 pawn might be the target of black. Another active queen is here in this position. Yeah, but in this case, this is only queen, and there's not another piece which will help the queen to attack. So far, black is controlling everything. Now, if black captures with the bishop, white might play something like e4 and just gain the center. Maybe d5 later, or bishop h3. Okay, again b3 here. Both games they want to kick the knights back. Yeah, but now knight on d6 I think feels way much better because it targets e4 pawn. And knight has to come back on d2 to guard the pawn. And queen f7 was quickly played. This game is also interesting. d5 was played, maybe d5? Yeah, d5 and bishop h3, bishop e6 might be the next moves of white. Also, there can be idea to double the pawns on c file and target the pawn. Yeah, e5 should not be a really good move here. Or black should have some follow-up right away, something like c6, which was played. That did not really stop white to come with bishop h3. This is a real threat here. So maybe black should ignore the rook on c8. f5 was played, all right. f5. Pawn takes, knight takes. Now the queen is hanging. I would be scared a bit to play this with white because after c5 this will be open, and first of all I cannot do it because f2 pawn is hanging. Yeah, after this there will be very unfortunate events for white. So instead of this, so white remains the bishop on the board and she plays queen on e4. So in case if you capture this, I'll capture on e5. Black is still thinking. Okay, this knight opened the f file, and now queen can't take on e5 because f4 pawn was hanging, and yeah, here we have the sacrifice, exchange sacrifice. But white should be looking out for these pawns. These pawns might be really strong, especially if black pushes the 4 pawn and comes with bishop on b7. This will be very long and very good diagonal for the bishop. Instead, she goes for e4. Maybe she wants to get bishop on g4 next move. They're playing really fast. Let's just focus on it. Black has some compensation for sure in this position. What white is doing, white is getting some play on g7. Oh no! What was that? It was a horrible blunder. It was a horrible blunder. Black could play here some more moves, I guess, and create more threats. For example, queen g6. White would capture the pawn, and then maybe to open the H file. Although this looks already winning for white. Let's say this one, and just capture here. Just to capture here, this should be looking really winning. So here we have the blunder and the checkmates on g7. The next game, what we have here is a bishop endgame. The pawn is already on c2. White is also trying to push the pawn, but is a little bit behind. What was that? f5. Aha. So we have resignation. Let's see what happened. So after this, a5 was a blunder. Let's say it was a blunder. White could play something like this. So the whole point is that if black here wins, then bishop take a5, and bishop cannot come here on e3 to stop the pawn because this pawn is really annoying. And from here, black is on time to stop the pawn and win the game. But what black did here was safer. She first pushed the f5. Maybe she just wanted to push even more pawns and just to wait, because white cannot really do here much but bishop b2, bishop a3 back. Okay, move to the next game. This is another game here. White has an exchange for a pawn. For 2 pawns already. It should not be a problem, but now the king on g8 is so passive. It might be under some mating. Let's king f5 wins. Okay, rook g4, g7, g4 wins this pawn in one move after king f7. King g6 was played. Okay. Let's say king is in the corner. King is in the corner. Yeah, white should use that moment of king being in the corner. Always good to keep king in the center and then cover with the knight, because knight won't be limited. White is trying to win this game. Also the time is ticking for the black, and black made the game on the move on the last second. And white has here 22 seconds. So 94. It was made at the last second. Well, white's hope here is just time. Black is making the moves at the last seconds. 94 might be a move here, check. So we have a rule of a draw. Let me check when was the last time we had this position. When the pawn was away. This is move 77. This is move 77, and for now we have move 106. So we have the rule of 50 moves here. White should win a game in 50 moves, or it will be or then black can claim for a draw. If black didn't claim for a draw, then arbiter can stop the game after 75 moves. From the moment where white captured the pawn. White is trying to chase the knight, but this knight is, yeah, the king is out of the danger, so the knight can go anywhere. Oh no, the knight is captured. The knight is trapped. Oh no, I was about to move to the other game to check other game, and yeah, we have to take a look at this one. We have to take a look at this one. What happened? Black is still playing. She can't believe that she lost this game, but yeah, that's it. And white is showing now the technique, how to checkmate with the king and the rook. You have to cut the king from the files and then gets closer and closer to the back rank to checkmate. Yes, very beautiful technique. Yeah. All right, let's take a look again. What happened? What happened? Knight on d1. Always good to keep the pieces in the center. Wow. Yeah. Nice technique here with white. She managed to win this game. I believe we don't have any game in progress. The next round will start in about 5 minutes. So I'll take a short break and coming back with the first moves of the next round.
To be a good chess player, you need to have confidence and faith in yourself that you can win a game or so.
Not being a sore loser and just be smart. A girl that likes to play chess is open to possibilities.
She's motivated.
Has to want to fight.
All players, you may start White's clock.
You can't be one of the squirmy kids. You have to actually focus. Not be scared or afraid of what's gonna happen.
If there's one thing every girl needs to have, it's determination. And if something goes wrong, they don't give up.
I think chess is going to benefit me later in life because you become more aware.
Chess is like life to me.
I came a long way. First, I was anxious. I didn't really know how to move the pieces or whatever. I think chess is amazing. It gives you a second chance.
In my grade, I am the only girl that plays chess. So.
I only know about like 2 or 3 girls, including myself, and about like 50 boys.
A lot of girls are intimidated because they're not playing against the same gender.
More boys play chess than girls because the really good grandmasters were like boys, so they may be like nervous and then they already feel like they lost. It's funny because I usually play boys, but every single time I get really nervous for some reason.
I think girls are very intimidated by the number of boys. I am sometimes.
They're like whispering, oh look, I'm gonna beat her. But then when I beat them, they look totally crushed and they're like, how could I lose? How could I lose to a girl?
It would just show me how he didn't really have much respect for his opponent.
To get girls into chess, we can send a message showing them that girls are equal. If I'm the only one, I'm like, hey, where did all the girls go?
And now I'm at this huge girls' nationals.
It's a unisex game. It's not only for one gender. You know what I mean?
There's no whispering that you're gonna lose because you're a girl, because we're all girls.
I actually get to play girls that I didn't even know, and I get to make new friends with them.
Other girls at my school definitely look up to me because I play something that's unique or different than what usually girls play.
When I win, it's like, wow, I got this right in the bag.
You're surrounded by, I don't know how many girls are here, but you know that you're not alone. Or you know that there's way more than just you.
After a long break, we are back, and this is round 7, and we are taking a look on the first board where two international masters and most strong participants of the events are facing each other. So here we have Marta Fierro against Olga Zemina. We're starting with the move 1. So we have once again the Karkan defense from Olga Zemina. But in this case, we have c4. This is also a sideline here where black sacrifices a pawn, is not capturing on d5 yet. She wants to capture on d5 with a piece, not with the queen, for the reason that if she captures with the queen, then knight will attack the queen, and black has to lose too many moves. At the opening, so for these reasons, black plays knight f6. Queen comes on a4 check, and here we have the fianchetto bishop on g7. At this moment, after queen a4 and knight bd7, here black offered a draw, but white continued to play. Seems like Olga Zemina wants to make a draw, and that's enough for her to win the tournament. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the standings in the Group A. I will take a look very quickly. She has 5 points. She has 5 points, so she's the leader of the tournament. There is one chess player following her with 4.5, and other players are missing 1 point to catch up Olga Zemina. And yeah, in this category we have 7 round. So for this reason, here Olga offered a draw. In the other categories we have 9 and 11 rounds, but in category A we have only 7 rounds. So here we have this position. Marta also wants to win the tournament. She has a theoretical chance to win the tournament. That's why draw was rejected. Also for fighting top places, white wins to win, as we can see. What is happening to the other games? I will quickly take a look if we have something interesting. So here with white pieces, Gong Kuan-nu against Yan Tianqi. They're playing this position, and white pieces here. She is fighting for the silver medal or even for gold medal. It is pretty much dependent on herself and also in the game of Marta and Olga. So talking about this game, I think black has here not too much to worry because black pieces are quite active. Also, this pawn structure here is very good cover for the king, and also in case if black needs to attack the white king, they are ready to start. We have beautiful bishop on this diagonal, and all the pieces are at the right place. Meanwhile, this bishop here is a little bit weak. If white tries to open up the bishop, then white has to give up d4, very important square. So instead, she goes for rook e1, and they are playing very fast. Right now, seconds are ticking on the clock. c4 we have anyway, and what she's preparing. I thought queen c3 was next move, but no, she's going from here. So if black captures now d3 pawn, white will go here. Black has to play f6 to avoid the checkmate. And what's the next moves here? Hard to predict. Instead of... Oh no, knight is here. Knight is defending. No, knight is defending d3 pawn. No, it's not going to happen. So instead of this terrible blunder, which I just demonstrated to you, black here went for queen c6, and also very strong battery here, which keeps the queen stuck here on g3 in defense. And clearly, black is having better position here. So that means That's yeah, that means that maybe White, a gone woman grandmaster from Singapore, maybe will not get the silver medal that she is holding for the moment. She's holding the positions. Let's get back to this game. Let's see if we have some changes. Olga is trying to trade as much pieces as possible, because here we have the isolated pawn, and when there is an isolated pawn, it's easier to attack it in the end game, and also this reduces the chances of the active game. So if black here captures on g5, then knight captures on g5, and now black has to take a control over h7 square, because there will be a checkmate. So for the moment, she's not really worried. Oh, what? Here, hold on. It was a move like knight h7. Knight h7. Oh, Olga lost the game. We have to take a look what happened in this game. So after knight h7, I believe that White is winning, because this is a pin. And Black cannot capture this knight back, because queen is hanging. So only move here is king g7, and well, this is position with extra pawn. But instead of this, in the game d5 happened. Olga grabbed this rook, and oh, it was a blunder. d5 is also a sneaky move here. d5 is a sneaky move, because we have a pin. Pawn cannot take this, knight cannot take this, and like really fast, she played really fast this move, and after rook takes d5, she cannot take this because of the checkmate, and that is how Marta Piero won this game. Okay, really dramatic round for the leaders. Really dramatic round. I see the game's health already finished. Let's focus on this game. This is the final game in category A, and then later we can take a look at the final standings. So this is rook and the bishop endgame. Here we have very active king on f5, and also very active rook on the 7th rank. Black is thinking to guard e7 pawn, or to trade this e7 pawn for e5, and that will be a draw. We have a couple more moves. So Black decided to capture on e5, and then to defense f7. Here the pawns are at the same side, at the same flank, and it's not gonna be possible to win here with any color. Black is now trying to get the king on the g file, so the king will stop the h pawn. And yeah, we might see a draw here really quickly. But players are still playing, of course. That makes sense, because this is the last round in this category, and why not to play? This is online chess. Anything can happen. Disconnection might happen. Mouse slip might happen, and you should not be feeling really bad about that. And some blunders might happen. But practically, I think this game should end really soon in a draw. White's just cut the king from 6th rank, and she's just making the moves with the king. Not possible to win. The category A really finished quite soon, so the other categories. No, we have one more game in category B. Here, Lila Koridze once again has an extra bishop on the board, but not only bishop, also the pawn is an extra on g6. She is trying to win. She should be really careful because black is counting on a stalemate. Here we have a check and g8 queen. Yeah, and here we're gonna see checkmate really soon. So all the games already finished. That was really fast game. We were waiting for so long and they ended really fast. So after rounds 7, as you can see, you cannot see the black pieces, but let me read that for you. Marta Fierro managed to win over Olga Zimina, and then we have another game in victory of white. Indian chess player won against a women grandmaster, and we have a final draw and the last board. Here we have only 4 boards. Let me check the final standing. So Marta Fierro and Olga Zimina are sharing the first places with 5 points. That's why Marta declined the draw. So she wanted to get the medal here, the gold medal. Zemina, by the tie breaks, according to Tornello, I see that they both have 23 tie breaks, but then it comes to the personal score, and in that case, Marta won over Olga, so she's getting the first place. Then we have Gong Kuan with 4.5 points. She lost the final game. Well, she seems to be granted 3rd place and bronze medal. So this is the final standing in Group A. And this tournament is ended. So we have only the games going on in Group B. I will quickly take a look what is happening here in Group B. Here in Group B, we see Lila Koridze is leading the group. Here we have 9 rounds, so 2 more rounds to go. She has 6 points, followed by women grandmaster Angela Franco Violenza. Angela has 5.5, just half points close to the first place, and her tie breaks is better than Lila's tie breaks. So let's keep the eye on between these 2 players. I am not sure if they have already played against each other. And then we have a player from Ukraine coming, as well as from Argentina. They are playing. They're having 4 points. And a player from Singapore is also having 4 points. So they have all these top 5 players have a good chance to get into the top positions. We can also take a look at the Group C. In Group C, we have this situation. The player from Greece, Maria Tsakona, is having 6 points, as well as Analia Karan Miranda. She also has 6 points. They are sharing the first, second places, and then we have 4 players with 5 points. Actually, 5 players with 5 points. So here we have a huge fight. We have in total 12 players competing each other and fighting for the prizes. And let's take a look at the final group. In final group, we have 11 rounds. So too many rounds to go here, and we can see that one player already has 6.5 points and clear first positions. This is the chess player from Indonesia. Yeah, here's also a little bit complicated situation. So the congratulations to the winners and the prize winners in the Group A category. This tournament is already finished, and now we will be focused on the rest of the categories. Let me quickly take a look. The games has not started yet. The games will start in about 3 minutes. Meanwhile, we can take a look at the positions in Group A. In Group A, I'm looking for some excitements. Yeah, here this game we have been analyzing. At some point, I thought that Black was holding your position, but yeah, White is too strong on the king side, and that's the benefits of the isolated pawn. When you have an isolated pawn, you have so much space. You have open e-file. You can rook leave there. You can also play knight e5. This pawn guards knight on e5. And when there is anything you can get a bishop, your plan is to just get rid of this, just to trade the bishop, and then to play on the dark squares. That actually what happened here. We saw the weakness of the dark squares. Yeah, white was very active here, rook e5. And as I mentioned earlier, knight h7 was probably already winning, but d5 was really sneaky move. Just attacking on e6, and it was a trap. It was a trap, and Black got in here. After rook takes, here we had a resignation, actually lost on time, but Black cannot capture the rook back with the pawn because the queen is hanging, and in case of knight takes d5, we have this checkmate. So this game ended in this way. Another game with a pair of queens. We have seen some games already with 2 extra queens. Here we have Black winning this position. Oh, they played several moves with 2 queens on the board. Let's see the loss of the winner of the tournament. She lost this game. She lost this game on time. Yes, she lost this game on time. This is one of the games which happened, I think, at the early stage of the tournament. Clearly, Black has here an extra material and should be winning, but something went wrong for her, and here after king takes f4, Black lose on time. But also the position might be a little bit tricky here. The king is very close to the pawns, and maybe White's knight will start to collect some of the pawns, yeah, and take on c4 later on. So yeah, there was one loss here. This position looks really nice. Let's take a look at it from this perspective. Here we have Black playing for the win. Let's see the combination of queen and the pawn. She pushed h3. Queen grabs the pawn, and that loses a game. If White captures the pawn, then I think White cannot really defend this position, because now the bishop is open and bishop will checkmate. So after queen takes b6, we have queen g3. There is a checkmate on g2, and when queen comes back on f2, we have f2, very strong move, and white is losing. No matter where the king goes, we're gonna have a queen, or if king goes here, then queen takes, and of course this is winning position for Black. This is the checkmate that we saw earlier with queen g7 blunder. Yeah, that's it. That's it in this category. We don't have more games. I think we covered all the games. Let me check the next round. Somehow we have a big difference between the round. Usually we have in most of the tournaments next round starting pretty soon. Yeah, they should start right now. In category B. All right, they started. We don't need category A anymore, so they started. And here we have this position. Maybe we can take a look at the game of Lila, as she is one of the leaders. And Camilla is also one of the leaders. She is now at the 3rd position. Let's take a look first at this one. Black is really active. She is attacking the king. Look at this pawn. This looks really close position, but Black still have this this resource here to open up the h file, then to manage to control the h file with the rook. That can be an idea here. And a white, meanwhile, should start to open up the center for some counterplays. All right, let's get this position. Zhang Xiu against Lila Koritze. Lila is the leader, but she needs to win this game or a draw to keep the leader's position, because there are many people coming up after her. Beautiful knights in the center. They are controlling the center. But I wonder if white is going to play next move, e4, to kick the knight back. Instead, she goes for knight d4. She wants to occupy c6 square with the knights. Now the knight is hanging. Knight comes back on f3. Yeah, it would be really risky to play knight on c6, because after bishop b7, this knight here is trapped. That's why she played knight f3, but this is under huge attack. e5 is coming. Now bishop takes on e2. The rook is hanging. Rook comes back on e1. If Black wants to maintain the material advantage, she should play with some threats, and that's what she does. Bishop d3, now e4. Guards the bishop here and also attacks the knight at the same time. Bishop takes b2. It's a possibility. So black got the exchange and the pawn in this position, and it should not be very hard to convert this position. Next game we can take a look is this one. We have Benoni position, where black has an open file and very active knight and also very strong bishop. It is equal position. White is trying to trade the queens as well, because she might not be feeling safe when the queen is on the board, and it would be safer to play endgame. Rook b4, we have very nice move, rook b4, that cuts the board in half, and white tries to trade these rooks now. Should be equal position. Let's take a look at this one here. We have queen and 2 bishops versus queen and the knight, and pawns, some pawns, just 2 pawns. Yeah, 2 pawns. Well, bishops and queen should be better here because the king is exposed here. King is very weak. We might see some checks now. We might see also g5 at some point to open up the light square bishop. Now if black goes for king e6, I'll quickly show that. If king goes on e6, then after queen g8, white wins the queen. So king went on d7, and here we have g5, just to open the bishop. And after b5, bishop h3, and there will be a checkmate soon. There will be a checkmate soon. Black has to come back with queen e6, and after queen f7, black cannot survive there. The next game we can take a look is this one. Black has here an extra exchange. White to move. Black can try to play rook b3 here and activate the other rook, but what she's playing is really safe. She has also more time, so she can think to find the better moves. What she's doing, she's guarding a7 pawn with the rook, so there will be no checks on the third rank. And h5, this is kind of final try. Knight comes on f5 with a check and the fork, but black is safe with rook e2 or rook e5. Rook e5 is also a possibility. King h7 can be the next move. Oh, let's take a look at this position. The both pawns are very close to big queens, but there is too big material advantage here. And after c2, white resigned. And in this position, we have knight d3 check. White has to give up the rook because king cannot find the better place, the best place. So if king comes back, then knight takes on e1, rook is hanging, and then knight takes g2, and then the queen will be on the board. So we have resignation. We can move to the next game where black has an extra rook, but it is white to move. White is thinking if white captures the rook on e8. Let's take a look at that position quickly. If this happens, then we have this beautiful checkmate. So that's why queen came on c1 to guard f1 square, but this leaves black with extra rook, and the game is winning. Final game in this category is this one. Knight is trying. Knight is really trying. It is white to move. White can capture. No, it's not white to move. So here we have some more moves. Yeah, black is playing really carefully here. Black could win this game sometime before, but she plays really carefully. Queen on a1. Yes, that's promoted. Oh no, this is the worst worst trade scenario for black. Luckily, there are too many materials extra, and I believe that black is still winning. Well, this might also end in a draw. If black cannot find the plan. No, that's winning. This is the final one. White cannot avoid rook e1. But it was really nice. Really nice play from White. She tried her best. She was playing very long without material. So this is then round 8. In category B, we have one last round to go, and the other categories we have 11 rounds. So the next game will start soon. I will come back with the start of the first moves.
To be a good chess player, you need to have confidence and faith in yourself that you can win a game or so.
Not being a sore loser and just be smart. A girl that likes to play chess is open to possibilities.
She's motivated.
Has to want to fight.
All players, you may start White's clock.
You can't be one of the squirmy kids. You have to actually focus. Not be scared or afraid of what's gonna happen.
If there's one thing every girl needs to have, it's determination. And if something goes wrong, they don't give up.
I think chess is going to benefit me later in life because you become more aware.
Chess is like life to me.
Yeah, this.
I came a long way. First, I was anxious. I didn't really know how to move the pieces or whatever. I think chess is amazing. It gives you a second chance.
In my grade, I am the only girl that plays chess. So.
I only know about like 2 or 3 girls, including myself, and about like 50 boys.
A lot of girls are intimidated because they're not playing against the same gender.
More boys play chess than girls because the really good grandmasters were like boys, so they may be like nervous and then they already feel like they lost. It's funny because I usually play boys, but every single time I get really nervous for some reason.
I think girls are very intimidated by the number of boys. I am sometimes.
They're like whispering, oh look, I'm gonna beat her. But then when I beat them, they look totally crushed and they're like, how could I lose? How could I lose to a girl?
It would just show me how he didn't really have much respect for his opponent.
To get girls into chess, we can send a message showing them that girls are equal. If I'm the only one, I'm like, hey, where did all the girls go?
And now I'm at this huge girls' nationals.
It's a unisex game. It's not only for one gender. You know what I mean?
There's no whispering that you're gonna lose because you're a girl, because we're all girls.
I actually get to play girls that I didn't even know, and I get to make new friends with them.
Other girls at my school definitely look up to me because I play something that's unique or different than what usually girls play.
When I win, it's like, wow, I got this right in the bag.
You're surrounded by, I don't know how many girls are here, but you know that you're not alone. Or you know that there's way more than just you.
Welcome back. This is the last and final round of the individual Blitz finals at Queen's Festival. And let's quickly take a look if we have any changes in the category B. And it seems that we don't have any changes here. Lila Kurize from Georgia is still a half point ahead of Angela Valencia from Colombia, and we have two players coming up after them, just like before. So let's now take a look at the game of Lila Kuriza, who is playing against Susanna Shank with white pieces, and I believe we had a Catalan defense where white decided to close the center and played c5. This is not very common in Catalan's defense, but I guess white has a plan. White has a plan, that's why she played this move. So black has to decide how to develop this bishop, because this bishop is here a huge problem. Maybe 95, 94, f5, knight f6, and then somehow to develop this bishop. We will see. We will see. Another plan can be also, instead of knight f6, to play f6 and e5 to break this center with this idea. And this is, I think, even better idea, because here white cannot really stop it. Bishop d6 is the move what white should play here, not to bring this bishop into the passive position. But no, she's not playing that. She's not playing that. She's allowing e5 to be played, and I expect here e5 to be played at any moment. So after this, f takes, and white has to come back with the bishop, and here black has nothing to worry about this position anymore, because bishop is open, the center is controlled by black, and it is beautiful position. So after e5, white here comes back with bishop e3. Just to hold the center like this, but black is all maneuvering the knights and opens the road for the bishop to be developed. Then knight can come on e6. Yeah, white really had a good chance to play bishop d6 instead of this line, but this is what we have right now. The players have both 1 minute and about 30 seconds, so this is not really a lot of time. So they are just making the most they see, that is not losing on a spot and is not blundering. So let's take a look now at the next game. Franco Angela against Zhang Xiu. Here we have black king in a huge trouble. Now the bishop is hanging on g7, and I don't see how black is going to defend this bishop over here. Yeah, we can take a look at this game. We can take a look at this game from this point. Oh no, from this point maybe. Still was peaceful, and then white decided to keep the king in the center, and instead to start the side attack with h-pawn, she opened the h-file and has queen and the rook on h-file, and here we have very strong attack. Queen now takes g6, and yeah, we got on this game at the right time, and now white captures the rook. We might see a resignation or not. They can of course continue, because this is the final game in this category. White to resign. Well, meanwhile we can go to the next game. Here we have already the end game, bishop end game. Black is standing better here because of this pawn is under attack, and the bishop has to be really defensive. Now white has to make decision to capture the pawn or go to passive. I think that's the moment when she has to just trade f pawn for h pawn and somehow start to roll the pawns here and create the pass pawn. That's going to be a counterplay for white. And the game of Lila and Susanna is still in progress. Lila is the leader of the event. She was leading the event, but now she's facing very strong opponents. This is not easy game for her because Black is playing absolutely fantastic here, maneuvering the pieces. We have several trades here. Who is at the second position? Let me quickly check that one. Oh, she already won. She already won. Chess player, women international master from Colombia. She already won, and right now she is observing this game. This is the most important game here. Lila needs to win to get the first place. In case of draw, they might tie. They might tie the first and second place, and then the tie breaks come, and we have to wait. We have to wait until all the games are ending. So without that, we cannot say who will be the first. If Lila wins this game, she will win the tournament with 1 point, half point ahead. So let's see what is going to happen. Knights versus bishops. Knights versus bishops, and I believe white got also extra pawn. Six seconds for both players now. This game will be pretty much pre-moves. We have a5. Black is trying to demolish the pawn structure. Now Black has beautiful pawn structure. What's next? Oh, lost on time. Oh no, Black lost on time. Yeah, Black lost on time. So after Queen d3, she was not able to make a move. Her move could be Queen a5, and this is, I think, she's back. She's back. But yeah, the game was ended. So that means that Lila won this category. Let's take a look at the next game. Here we have Knight and Rook endgame, where white is trying to hold. Black is more active because the pawn is backrank pawn, and it is attacked. Now this is the weakness, so Black will try to get this pawn, Rook d3 maybe. No. She is maneuvering the knight, and now Rook c4 can be possibility. Rook d4, knight d4, both possible. Black has 1 second. Black has 1 second. We might see another flag here. No. Too many flags. And here we have another flag. No, Black lost this game on a time. It's completely winning. But Black lost on the time. I don't know what's really happening. Today we have so many flags. Maybe they don't have pre-move option. I remember when I was playing on Tornello, I had not that option, and I was also losing on time. But for the previous tournaments, there was this option. Yeah. I don't know about this one. So here Black is winning, and the white cannot really stop, and the game ended. Another game where Knight is playing against the Rook. Oh no! But here Black has an extra pawn. White is trying to activate the king. F5, now F4 pawn will be hanging. Okay, this is already safe free position for Black, and I believe Black will be the one who will be fighting for the win. King G5, next moves, knight should come back. Yeah, knight F4. Knight needs to do some little maneuvering, maybe knight C5, knight E4. Or yeah, this is also fantastic. G4, King G5, F4. Oof, we we missed that one. We missed that one. We missed that one, and this is a draw. So White found really brilliant way. Let me show that. Yeah, White find a brilliant way to draw, and with only one knight, it is impossible to win. Black could try here a little bit more. She could do it with some checks. Yeah, maybe knight c5, knight e4, just to wait. Yeah, I also completely forgot about this sacrifice here, so it was a brilliant end. Let me quickly see. I see that A and C categories are finished, so the D category is also finished. Let's now take a look at the final standings after round 9. This is the final round in this category. So Lila Corridza got the first place with 8 points. Then we have second points Angela Valencia from Colombia with 7.5. And there is a huge gap between second and third place. So the third place is to 5.5. Actually, they are shared by Camila from Ukraine and Mal-An from Singapore. So congratulations all these to all the winners in this category. Let's now take a look at the category C. Category C and category B will be 11 rounds. We can take a look at the standings in here. So here we have 3 players sharing first 3 places with 7 points. And then in the final category, we have a clear leader here from Indonesia. She was leading this tournament quite a while. She has 8.5 points, and the second place has 7 points. So she's almost guaranteed the first place in this category. So I think that's it for today. This was the finals of Queen's Festival. The players played qualifiers before this one. They got the right to be here, and now they're competing each other to get some prizes and to get the top places. So tomorrow will be the team competition as well as the final seminar. And yeah, that was it. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for being here, and see you next time.